What's up, AfterBuzzers? We are here, the season finale of 13 Reasons Why After Show. Season 3, Episode 13, Let the Dead Bury the Dead. Monty gets killed. Ani's confession. Bryce leaves a tape. We have a huge Thanksgiving dinner, and guns are found. And we finally find out who killed Bryce Walker. Stay tuned. There's a lot to discuss.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, everybody? We made it. Woo! Episode 13, season finale.
Wow.
And we got a full panel. Look at here.
Full panel.
Wow. It's craziness. What's up, everybody? My name is Danny Royce. Thank you for joining us. We have over here Miss Kamisha, aka Cammy.
Hello, guys.
And you've seen her on Monica Goes, her travel show. Monica Ortega.
What's up? We made it.
It's
been a longer.
And she also brings us the news and gossip. You know her very well, Miss Chae Jones.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
I'm on this side of the table, which is interesting.
I know. It's like I'm kind of like, oh.
I know. Like we're both like.
I don't think I've ever had anyone sitting so close to me. It's like, hey. Well, okay. Well, welcome, ladies. How are you doing?
Oh yeah, and this gentleman right here.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I guess not.
You gotta give me a second. I gotta accumulate to everything. This gentleman right here, you know he's from the terror, but he doesn't just love the horror. He does the drama with us here at 13 Reasons Why, Mr. Danny Royce.
Hi, guys. Thank you.
Last time. That's the last time I get to introduce you, though.
Last time.
That's crazy.
I know, right? Well, folks, if you've stayed with us this whole time, you know that we had a special segment of Who Done It. We're no longer having that special segment today because we know who did it. So, Kamisha, we're going to talk overall thoughts about this episode.
Ooh, okay. A lot from this episode. Yeah, it caught me by surprise with a lot of the different things that were thrown at us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a lot of reveals, very shocking. I love this episode. Mm-hmm. It's very poetic in a sense, but we could talk more about it and what I'm talking about.
For sure.
Yeah, but I thought it was a great way to end the season.
Okay. Monica?
I called it! I was so excited. Although I did think it was Monty for pretty much the entire until episode 12. But I was still surprised at how everything went down, and it was still super shocking to me. And then I love that they kind of left us hanging for more, which I knew they had to do. I was like, you can't have another season and then like not give us something to look forward to.
Right.
So, yeah.
And Miss Chae.
Me? Okay, so I was going to say Miss Chae. Me, I called it too. I actually told him like Tuesday. I was like, who I thought it was. So I really was happy to be right. However, how everything went down, like everybody keeps saying, it was shocking. And oh my gosh. But I do agree with Ani in the situation. Like no choice. Every choice is bad. Like you got to choose one.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was an amazing episode. Last episode in 12 is when I started suspecting who did it, and it was someone other than Monty for once. Right. And it happened to be that. So we'll get into that discussion later. Also, leave us some comments in the chat if this was a huge shocker for you this episode. But I want to start off with Monty and his dad. It was sad. That was sad. I'm not gonna lie, that was really sad. So Monty he got arrested. His dad came to visit him, and like he's just kicking him while he's down. Like he really just didn't need that. And then we learned that he ended up getting killed. Yeah. And like I don't know. That really
surprised me.
That was surprising.
I feel like it was so thrown in there.
Right.
It felt like it was kind of thrown in to wrap up the pieces, but it was like, oh, by the way, Monty's dead. Like what?
Right.
Why would you not show that or have something dramatic with that? It was just sort of tossed out there, which really surprised me.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Kamisha, do you think that's going to come back up possibly?
Ooh, yeah, because of the ending with Winston.
Yeah.
That was definitely a cliffhanger. So Winston might, and I have a theory that Winston might play a bigger role in
we definitely
in the fourth season.
Yeah.
But I feel like that moment would have been would have impacted me heavily. But unfortunately, I live on like the internet kind of, and I saw that spoiler ahead of time. I know, but it is unfortunate. That whole scene with the dad, so insensitive. It's so hard to get to hear that from your own father, especially when he's going through this tough moment in his life and still having to be called these names.
And he had just had that conversation with Winston too, of like, you can be who you want to be, and he was like, no, I can't.
No.
Yeah.
And then that happened.
I know, and then he finally said, what if I was?
Yes. Right. He really, in that moment, he started owning like it, or who he is, or what, and it just, it's really, because you see where Monty came from. You see like the struggle he's been through when that happened. Like, you almost felt sorry for him.
I felt so, and I almost,
despite what he did.
Yes, it's very like conflicting because you know all the things he's done, but then you see this moment and you're like, no one deserves this. No one, especially as a child, you don't deserve to be spoken to like that by your parent ever.
Never, especially when your dad tells you, "Oh, you what's gonna happen when you go to prison." Like he's like, okay, so he's like in his mind, you're going to prison no matter what. Yeah, like you know what's gonna happen. But like Monty had his own shot. He's like, it's better than being beat by my dad. I've been taking it for years. So at this point, like, what else? Like, what else could they possibly do to me that hasn't already been done?
Yeah.
It was hard to watch that part.
I want to give a quick shout out to everyone in the chat for not spoiling this.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you
because you guys were with us the whole time.
So much.
You
sorry when you said that, I was like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't know.
Kept it quiet this whole time. Love you guys for that. Yes, good shout out. I want to get into Ani's confession. So we finally figure out who was on the other side of the table. Alex's dad. Okay, her confession of pretty much flipping Alex and Monty story. Like, it was first she told everyone's story because she felt like you had to know everyone's story in order to believe what she was going to say.
Yeah.
What did you think about that, Chae?
I get it. Like, obviously we were this whole time I was like, Ani girl, what you doing? Me too. But real talk, like, why are you telling secrets that aren't yours? And then you go through her own journey of, she actually got permission from everybody. It wasn't, and I think that's interesting because, we did the news and gossip about her being bullied about it. And just like, people, she got permission to give these secrets out. It wasn't that she just told these secrets to tell these secrets. Yeah. She actually got each and everybody's own permission to give the confession that she gave. Yeah. So I don't understand the hate. The plan is to protect not only Clay, but Alex and Jessica too.
Right. The group.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Like, I thought that was so smart. I was just like, okay, I'm with you now. I'm on your side at this point. I'm riding for you. I'm okay.
I think that's what surprised me the most when we were talking about the bullying is I thought, okay, well, she must have some character arc where she does something awful. Yeah. So of course everybody hates her. She's the freaking hero.
Thank you.
Like, she's the mastermind to make sure her friends get off. Right. So I really don't understand where all of the hate's coming from. But I loved the twist on how she explained the stories, especially because I agree the whole time I was watching her and it seemed like she was throwing everyone under the bus. And I was like, like when she said Clay and I were friends, I was like, I'm sorry, I don't like you anymore. Right. And now it's like, oh.
Now it's like you see exactly what she was doing.
And so I liked how they did it.
Yeah, I mean, she was a perfect person to do it because she's the new girl. No one, no one had her. She was the outsider, right? But I'm just like, it's gonna come back and bite her. Oh yeah. Like, just to flip everything around like that and just it's not the greatest. So we figure out who finally did it.
Yes.
What do you feel about that whole scene, Kamisha? Like, it was, what did you think about it?
The whole scene with
Bryce, Jess, and Alex.
And
just Alex.
It was just, Bryce,
it was just
Alex.
Well, Zach had left already.
But everything leading up to that was insane. I really thought Alex was going to, like, carry him through. Like, really did think that. And It's so funny how they film it in a way where it's like you see it from like Alex's point of view and you like see the terror in his eyes, or like the not evil, but you see Bryce's true colors were coming to the surface again. And at that moment, and I think I said this last time I was on the panel, it was like, this is the Bryce that we just do not like, and this is what happened. And unfortunately, Alex, being so stuck in his emotions and everything that he's gone through, did what he did, and that was so awful. But in the moment, I had so much hope. I was like, oh wow, Alex is going to take him through this.
Right.
Yes, because I was like, Jess, why would you just leave him there? He's a human being. Like he needs to be helped.
That was rough.
I would have just called the ambulance on you. I'm sorry. I
would have called for help.
They could have did that.
I would have left you, but in the car, I would have called so you at least got somebody to come to get you.
Yes.
Right.
However, like you said, we saw the old, like the Bryce, like, and at that point, like, Alex has been through a lot. He lost his woman. Like, he lost, like, his part of his, like, motor skills. So I'm just at that point, like, you're not going to, like, and you're trying to take away two of the most important people in my life, Zach and Jessica. At that point.
Facts.
And you hurt Hannah. Like, I think it was, like 3 years of all that coming to a head at that point.
You just couldn't take it.
It was so hard to watch that scene because I agree. I thought he was gonna help him, and then he throws him in, but then they just stand there while he's bobbing up and down, begging for help. Like,
I couldn't do it.
That water was cold. No one was gonna jump in that.
My thing is, even if you're so,
y'all a mess.
Well, it wasn't for me. It was cold. It's like because he doesn't know how to swim. He's already failing. Like he could have drowned me with him. So at that point, you're already there.
Here's my thing. So even if they are so angry and cold that they can stand there and watch him go up and down and go under, maybe take an extra beat, and then call the ambulance. You know what I mean? Then you've at least
tried.
Yeah, because it's like even if they want him dead, he's going to die. Yeah. You watched him go under, but then call somebody. Like, you don't need to get wrapped up in the lies. You don't have to admit that you let him bob up and down. But like, for them to just stand there and then walk away and be like, yeah, we're just gonna hide this. It's like, what?
Isn't that crazy?
Like, just wait an extra minute if you want him dead, and then call an ambulance. And then it's like, he fell in. We called you guys for help, and it was too late.
And just made the point at that moment to stay away from Alex.
Yeah.
And oh man, that whole scene was hard to watch. I just thought,
stand there and watch somebody.
How do you watch that? That. But in the last episode, Alex's dad kind of hinted towards it being Alex because of the whole limp and the way the foot marks were left. So Zach's right leg was injured. Alex's left leg is like, so it kind of put two and two together. So that I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I
don't think many people can. I think that's why we're not murderers.
Right, yeah. But I was rooting for him to help him. Like, I was like, even Jess, like,
technically,
I
Alex
get it.
Didn't mean to murder him, but Bryce had to, like, you wrote a check your butt could not cash. You like you're in pain, and I totally get it. And you got your leg broken, your arm broken. So good, you're in pain, cool. However, don't lash out at somebody who didn't even want to be there. Yeah. You invited me here. I didn't have to show up. You would have been stuck here by yourself, okay?
Right.
Yeah, I think just the whole time I'm just like, these kids, like, stop taking things into your own hands.
Right.
Because this is what keeps happening. Like, you keep making everything so messy and messing things up. I was so mad.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like
yelling at the screen, like, just go home.
Jess brought the wrong person with her. And Bryce was like, you can bring someone if you want. I don't care. But you brought the wrong person.
Yes.
Well, I mean, who's to say it wouldn't have happened the same way with Justin?
I don't think Justin. No, because they.
Justin, if Justin hears you saying, you helped, I'm gonna ruin Jess. I'm
gonna ruin Zach. He was talking about Zach, but then he
included Justin.
He said Jess set him up. Yeah. But I don't think. I don't believe that Justin would have did that. If anything, he would have like just shut him up or punched him or something like that. But not pushed him in the water. Like, Alex was just seemed blank.
I thought that was too far. However, I kind of agree with people. It's kind of poetic justice in a way. I mean, it's not right. It's not right. but I also don't see it as wrong too.
For him to push him in the water.
Okay. I'm probably a terrible person. But I'm seriously. I really felt with.
Remind me to not go anywhere near.
I can't swim. First of all, I can't swim. I'm good in my life. I taught myself how to swim. I gotta worry about the water. However, Bryson obviously have that option. But dude, you're just like you've been working so hard to better yourself, right?
Yeah.
We can all agree on this. However, the first chance you got to prove you could be better, you went right back to being old Bryce. I know obviously it takes a process to get to where you want to be, but you just legit started just blaming everything else that happened to you on that night against everybody else.
I mean, it was
you never
a lot
took
that
your
happened.
own accountability.
Yeah.
That's true, but it was a lot that happened.
Yeah.
Find out that you could have had a baby and not your girl
Bryce
got
was
stolen.
going
Your
through
girl
it.
got stolen.
Yeah.
Like it was
a lot.
It was a lot that happened that night, and then just emotions, everything were just all over the place. So what are they saying in the chat? Are they saying anything about the scene?
Okay.
Ooh, they're blowing up.
And Billie Jean says, in Alex and Jessica's head, they were probably thinking Hannah called for help too as they watched Bryce die. Was that too dark?
Oh.
I mean, it was, but it's on point at the same time.
It is dark, yeah.
And Gratian says, and Bryce must continue to write a check his couldn't cash. Sarah Yu says, Alex's dad covered it up. And Sarah Yu says, FML forever, which we just love.
Yes, FML forever.
And just Bryce should have kept his mouth shut. He would have lived if he didn't say anything.
He would have, yeah.
Which is just true.
I don't know why he kept talking. I just don't know. I mean, I get it.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, he's just in so much pain. And for Alex to show up with Jess just out of the blue like that, of course he's going to think he's getting set up.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It makes
actually
sense.
does make sense.
It makes sense. It definitely does.
And knowing Bryce, his character, he's not going to keep it in.
Broken arm, broken leg.
Physically hurting, so he lashes out as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot
Yeah.
that made him snap in that moment.
I'm like, so I would say like Zach, Alex, and Jess killed them.
Yeah.
I mean, Zach started it. They finished it off.
Zach was just assault and battery.
Yeah.
Right? It was just assault and battery.
I can't.
Fine.
Bryce Walker had water in his lungs.
They just let him leave.
I know.
Right. Like,
thought
son,
that
you
was
can get out of
insane.
here. You're fine. We won't charge you with that. You're not who we want.
I did not
Crazy.
get that at all. That was.
Ooh, I like this. Renji says, True would say, live too long and you may end up as a villain. It's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, this show does so well at like pointing out the good and bad in people and like making the bad people seem human and showing their nice side and then
Right.
flipping the script and
100%.
so it really goes back and forth.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, before we get into our next topic, we would like to share a message with you. Actually, Monica would like to share a
Oh,
message
we're
with you.
throwing it into
I was waiting. Cool.
Well, we just want to say thank you guys so much for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. We truly love bringing you these after shows, and we could not do it without your help. So if you are currently watching on YouTube and jumping in on our chat, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, leave us comments, all that good stuff. And if you are listening on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating, leave us a review. We love to read that stuff as well. But we really couldn't do this without you. We appreciate everything you guys do for us. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Monica.
And back to Danny Royce.
Throw it back now. So Tyler shows his documenting that he's been doing. Finally, we get to see the slideshow, right?
Yes, so good.
Not only would the scars and bruises disappear, but the dark essence over it. Now, did you see like this the way he was everything about him changed and grew and glowed? Like that was a really nice scene, and just to see his progress as a character
For sure.
grow like that.
And we were seeing that in earlier episodes.
Yes.
And when I saw that, I was having thoughts that maybe Tyler's on to doing something really bad.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was gonna fake something, because I wasn't completely sure if those were the actual bruises from.
Those things is rough, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, his head got slammed into.
Yeah,
I
remember that.
I do remember that.
But like his chest.
Yeah,
and
I
everything
didn't
is,
know
opened
like
it.
he had all those bruises there, but seeing that in this episode, and that's when I was talking about at the beginning, it was so poetic because I just thought that was so beautiful from where we saw him from when he first after the abuse, and then we just see everything from him just lifting up like straighter posture. Like he seemed more confident, happier
Smiling.
over time. It was really nice.
What a moment of hope too for people that are struggling to see that there is a chance to get better and to grow. And like I feel like visually that showed it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's one thing to like, we followed over the season, so we see him change a little bit, but like to see it like that all back to back, it's like, look, there is hope and you can change and you can get better and life gets better.
Goes on.
But it does get better.
Except for
Right.
Bryce.
I mean, and Monty.
Too soon?
Except for Bryce. About that. And so Bryce had the tape with him. We finally found out where that bloody tape that Jessica had came from. And what was on that tape.
Is it just me or I just couldn't believe they let him struggle to get that tape thope. I was just like...
this whole time I was watching, I was just like are y'all gonna grab it? Or...
You just gonna like he like his arm. We're laughing. We probably shouldn't. We're like legit like I'm just like the watching the struggle for him to get that tape.
They were not helping him in whatsoever. I was like, are you gonna get it or like something? It's crazy. Monica, what did you think about what was on the tape?
Oh, it was heartbreaking. Yeah. I thought it was heartbreaking because it truly is him trying to own up and confess everything. And like he says, show this to Mrs. Walker because she won't listen. Like, and I was actually surprised when they listened to it that Jess and Alex didn't have a bigger reaction. Like they did not seem to feel guilty at all for what they did. And I would have thought, if anything, after listening to the tape, it would have broken him a little bit. Like, we killed this person that was trying. But I feel
like she did it after with Justin a little bit. Like, her face was just kind of... Like, that's when she actually took it in. Like, oh. I mean, technically I didn't do it, but I was still there.
Right. More so. I mean, I was expecting a little bit more from Alex, though. You know, like more... I don't know, something. Like, I just pushed you and killed you. And but I think...
They scare me.
I think on everything on the tape... It brought us back to like season 1, you know, like it was just
it
was a good homage.
I know she was like, "Are you effing kidding me? Is this a joke? Like you really did a tape though? Okay, sir, sure. Does it have 14 written on it? Like what?
Right. And you know, Bryce said that he's trying to be better, but the world won't let him. What do you think about that saying, Kamisha? Like
it really is hard to hear because I think this sounds so cheesy, but what they really do need is like healing for sure. And like Bryce is trying. He was trying in a sense. And what really shocked me was when he also said in the tape was that he has this dream of somehow being this person to protect people from people like him. Yeah. And I was trying to imagine that.
Well, like, he tried with Tyler.
Yes, you're so right. And that is one way.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to imagine, you know, what could that look like with everything he's been through, who might be able to let him protect them, knowing his history.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. It's like he had so much hope in a sense. But unfortunately, because the kids kept taking things into their own hands and not seeing the other side, you know, the other side of it, they didn't give him a chance.
I mean, but he also didn't give himself a chance. It's also his choices led him to that thing. Like, the choice you made to what you did to Zach was your death sentence at that point.
Yeah.
If you didn't do what you did, if you made a different choice, not to defend, obviously, what Alex and Jessica did, but the choices you made, your choices, because even in the end, you still never took accountability, like you said in your tape.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I get
still
that.
Keeping one foot in with everybody, too. And, like, honestly, he should have just moved towns, started over, and tried to be better.
That's exactly what he should have did.
But it was like he was trying to make amends for everything, but it was just too soon. And, like, right with those people, like, wait until you've healed and then try to make those amends. But if you want to at that point. But, like, he kept pushing and pushing. Like, but I want to be better, but I want to be better. But and they're like, we just want you out of our life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And so he had the right intention, but I think he just went about it the wrong way. And he was digging at people that had open wounds.
Right.
And that just... caught up with him.
I feel like he's trying to force his change on them.
Yeah.
Like you said, they're not ready to
accept
it or look at it or anything. And I definitely agree. Like, if you want to change yourself, I applaud you for making that decision. But do it somewhere where you can be different, where nobody actually knows that history yet.
Don't force me to help you get better.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Don't use me as an excuse to get better. Yeah. You can only be better for yourself and 100%. Not for anybody else. Otherwise, it's never genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Point blank. And just like Ani said, I don't want you to need me. You need to need yourself.
Yes.
Powerful. Yeah.
Powerful.
No, I also don't think Bryce had enough help too.
No.
Like, where did Mr.
Definitely.
Porter go? Like, I thought Mr. Porter was helping.
Did he fail
him.
yet?
I know.
Like, he just bounced.
Like that. I mean, I guess maybe
they were
he
with
didn't
a couple
see them
months
after that.
Yeah, maybe not. Okay.
So like before the game or something, maybe they didn't see each other.
Well, he also can't hold his hand every day.
Right.
You're
right.
It's not like you
You're
can
right.
walk around with your therapist just in case you need him at that
He-
moment.
What he really needed is, like you said, Monica, he needed to step away, get out of town. I don't need, like, for just a little bit, I don't care, but do something to get,
Finish your senior year
out.
somewhere else, not a
Right.
competing school.
Yeah.
Like, leave states,
Right.
start over, and then when you've fixed yourself enough, then if you feel the need to go talk to those people, they still may not want to hear it. They may never want to hear
And
that.
that's their choice.
But also, I think we have to hold the school accountable too. Why are you letting Bryce play as a rival? You know,
that was the one that chased that home.
Yeah,
And then considering, letting him back
and trying
in.
to let him back. Like,
made no
the school
sense.
should be held accountable for all of that as well.
Yeah.
But as we saw, they're not liable. They are not accountable for not a damn thing.
And that is where the problem is.
And where the problem lies, right? I do want to touch on Monty after homecoming, where he actually went.
Oh my gosh.
With Winston.
It was so cute though.
I know.
Still denying who he was. That whole scene, was interesting. It still showed his aggression, but he also became a little vulnerable, and that was the first time we saw Monty a little vulnerable. Yeah. I do believe that's not the last time we are going to see Winston. Clearly, Monty did not do what Ani said and follow the bus and do all that stuff. So it was hard to watch her just blatantly lie like that. But I knew she was protecting the overall, the overall group. Yeah.
So here's one thing that we kind of talked about in between the last episode and this one. Is when they initially met with Winston. In my mind, and I could be wrong, Winston told them at that time that he was with Monty that night. Because this is all after everything happened anyway. Mm-hmm. So why would he tell him that whole story and not include where Monty was in his alibi? So in my mind, they knew where he was. Yes. And that's why he approached them at the end too and said, like, what did you say to the police? Because he said, be careful with this secret I'm telling you.
Yeah. Winston told Ani and Clay everything that happened. So they knew
that Monty was with Winston.
That's why Ani was a perfect person to just twist everything, because she knew everyone's truth. Yeah. And I was like, oh, you're a mastermind. I was like, I don't know if I want to date you though. someone like that.
Yeah. Something tells me Winston has proof that Monty was there.
So it's gotta have some type of proof.
I will say something in the chat. Just said something that if it's true, Go Love says Monty is alive for sure. We never saw his body, which is also a trick too. Like, no body, no crime. They say it for a reason. Yeah. So if I don't see no body, it didn't happen.
When I first heard Alex's dad say that, I thought it was just a tactic to see what Ani would say.
Well, they just tossed it out there.
Right.
Oh, by the way, Monty's dead.
That's why.
Is that even a thing they're supposed to disclose?
That's why I thought it was a tactic.
However, but Justin, before Ani even went, he knew something. That's why he told her she knew before him, before she even went to the police station. Yeah. Which is why she switched it. Mm-hmm.
But then they can't. It doesn't make sense though either, because Alex's dad wouldn't be like, "Yep, case closed." Right. Like, he'd be like, crap, my son's in trouble because Monty's alive. Like,
exactly.
So I think that would be a really hard one
I think,
to do.
he's dead. I think he is dead, but I'm just saying, like, initially I thought it was like something, this a tactic to throw Ani off and see
I think we'll find out how he died next season. And
probably
who did it.
Who did it, or who paid who to do it.
Who done it. That's what we'll do it again.
Special segment, who done it?
I have a quick question.
Okay.
So we see in the episode that some of the football jocks come together and ask that guy.
Tell Charlie to come over.
What was that about?
That's
because
what I was
I'm
asking.
trying to figure out, does that link to Monty in any way?
Well, yeah, because Justin told Clay. Okay, so, or Clay told Alex, something like that, where Luke told Charlie, Charlie told Tyler, Tyler told Justin, or Charlie told Justin, and Justin told Ani. It was a whirlwind of Luke told Charlie, Charlie told Justin, Justin told Ani.
Of what? About what?
About Monty.
Monty.
Yeah.
Being dead.
Being dead.
Got it. Okay.
Right. So that was the whole thing of.
I need a flow chart.
Right.
So because she was just like, everything's good. He's like, okay, but there's something you need to know. Like that's when they walked the hall right before she went to the police station.
Right.
So I figured that's what Justin told her.
Okay. That makes sense.
It does make sense. Or it could be something else.
Because, I thought maybe one of them has something to do with the death, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not.
But what were you saying? One of the theories was that Seth.
Oh, one of the theories is Seth actually killed Monty, and that was the favor that Justin asked.
Yeah. Which would make sense because we never really find out that favor. I mean, he kind of tosses it out there.
But Justin wanted
That doesn't
dead.
make sense.
But then, because Seth is really good at avoiding the cops, so why would he suddenly let himself be caught? That is a good. Oh, wow.
Oh, wait, but he was caught.
He was caught, but he's been good at avoiding cops for like months and months and months. So why all of a sudden would he suddenly be...
So you're saying that he may have paid Seth to do that instead of take care of the dealer.
I mean, granted, I know Clay's mom said they've been watching stuff for a while. But if that's true, I don't know.
Interesting. So, I mean, it's a lot of questions there.
a lot, yeah.
I will say I did love the whole... I love two things about the whole when Clay came over to the Walker's house. Like, one, him talking to Nora.
Yeah.
And her saying, like, you did say it, but I don't think you meant it then. So I think she appreciated the fact that he actually means it now.
Yeah.
And just the whole thing with Josephine in the kitchen, her stone cold face. And then she's like, oh, do you want some tea?
Right. Well, before we get to that, I just want to mention Alex's dad burning his clothes in the garbage can.
Yeah, first of all,
That-
why are you taking the clothes out one at a time to burn? Put the bag in the trash can and light it on fire.
Right.
I mean, we as the viewer appreciate it,
So
but still.
At this moment, it's safe to say that he knows what his son did.
He knew. He knew when he turned the tape off.
He knew when he turned the tape, right?
And he was asking her other questions. And because he knew that his son had the aggression, the drugs, like he knows
His
they're all
mom's
friends.
car.
Yeah, the tire tracks, like
He's
he
capable
knows.
of, at one point, trying to take his own life. So
yeah.
mean-
And I think part of the reason he is protecting him is because he's scared of what he'll do to himself.
Yeah.
And it's his son.
It's his son.
It's his son.
To let his son to have to give up his son.
Yeah,
That-
he's not going to give up his
crazy.
son.
That's a hard
No.
thing.
But that's crazy. And then you're also protecting,
Yeah.
a criminal. And that happens to be your son, and you're you're police. Like, it's a lot.
I mean, that's the choice between my blood and my oath I made.
Right, exactly.
As a profession, and your son gonna always win out. Like, as a father, your fatherhood,
Oh, of course.
that nature will always win out above everything else.
I'm just gonna be like, this is the time to sit him down and be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do about this. I know your secret, so we need to keep this.
Yeah,
We need to get you some help.
Something needs to
I
happen.
hope that they at least have that conversation.
They need to.
So that Alex knows, and it's not another like, we know he knows and he knows I know.
Yeah,
Like,
but we won't say anything.
have we not learned
Right.
that this does not help?
That does not help.
I mean, I think anything at this point in time, learn from the mistakes and break the cycle, change it.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. Let's actually have a conversation besides you just saying, like, when you took the gun, it was like, I had that gun and you did it to, you did it to yourself, but it was like you doing it to me.
Right.
Like, I need some nitty gritty talk.
We need to sit down and discuss this.
Like, son, we're gonna get you in rehab to get you off steroids. We're gonna get you counseling to deal with all the
Major
aggression you're
counseling.
dealing with,
Yeah.
because it's time.
It is.
Like, I've been
time.
letting you do this by yourself, and it's not working apparently.
I think that's going to be a big theme of season 4 in
Oh,
general.
yeah.
Now that we know that Gary Sinise is coming in as a therapist to help Clay, I think it's going to be a lot of the kids actually dealing with Hannah, with Bryce, with everything, which is a really amazing and necessary way to end the season if they do that.
Yes.
Or to end the series.
In the
'Cause
series,
I do
for sure.
think it needs to be tied up with them actually getting help from adults.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then definitely teach others, that route. It was special, or a great way to veer off into that comment.
Yes. I do want to say as well that if anybody is struggling with any of the issues that they have talked about on this series, this season, this episode, any of that, 13reasonswhy.info has really, really good resources on all of those topics. There's videos from the actors talking about all of that, and they have a crisis hotline. So if you text the word reason, REASON, to 741-741, there are people there 24/7 that are there to listen, that care, and we care, and you do not have to go through this alone.
Yes.
So please, please, please reach out if you are struggling.
Yes, please
I love
do.
that the text message just legit is 13. 13.
Yeah.
I thought that's dope.
I love it. So I want to move into Thanksgiving.
Actually, it's 12. My bad.
Because Thanksgiving... I was going to say 12.
Let you have it.
We just
Let
I had already breezed past it.
I was like, let me be clear. I know math. 12. Thanksgiving. Go ahead.
We tried to help you out and just ignore it.
I know, but I couldn't like just let it go. Let people think I don't know my numbers. But Thanksgiving. We're moving on.
I think it's safe to say you know your numbers. All right, so Thanksgiving. Okay, so we had a lot of things going on, right? We had Caleb and Tony. He finally got to see Tony's parents through Skype.
Love
right? That was nice. Jess and Alex. Jess was at Alex's house, so that was interesting. Don't you think?
That was super weird.
Don't you think? Like, that was interesting.
I was like, I don't think they could be together.
Right.
And I kind of took that maybe they tried for like a minute. And then accepted that wasn't going to work. Or it was just a friend thing. It might have just been like we're in this together, I've got you kind of thing.
Right. Because I was like, why aren't you at Clay's house with Justin?
Yeah, and then in the next scene, she's with Justin again. So I was like, but just...
Yeah, I think it was like more of like a friend thing.
Like we got each other.
You know, like we got each other. And then we go to Clay's house, that's where everyone's at. Caleb, Tony's there, Justin, and all that. And I think that was a nice scene to go around and just say what everyone was thankful for after all this turmoil. And,
I love that Justin came clean.
And Justin finally.
That was my favorite.
Especially because it was unexpected. Because they're like, say what you're
So
thankful for. And he was
unexpected.
like, I have a problem.
Right. But it was perfect timing.
It was perfect. Yeah. And even they addressed it. And he was like, okay, well, that was a lot.
And Clay was just like, okay, well, like, how do I follow up with that?
But no, that was good too. And again, I think that will play into them getting help in the next season. Yeah.
For sure. And then Clay visits Mrs. Walker. That whole scene, that was what you just mentioned already, that, you know, she felt that he didn't mean it the first time, and this time he actually meant it. That was nice. And then in the kitchen with Ani's mom, Josephine.
You think I did not already know
Josephine knows everything, okay? She in every window looking at us, like she hears everything. Like,
she a classic, like...
Yeah, black mom.
Like, let's be real, that's a black mom where she just like...
Yeah.
I know everything. Like, haven't you figured this out? I know. Like, in case you needed a reminder, here it is. Yeah. Like, but I love how Clay just like say, you know, I like how Clay was just like, your daughter is brave.
Yeah.
She like, I know you think I have to protect her, but that's not it. It's kind of the other way around.
Right. And I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. I need the help around here. And the fact that she just like came out, she's just like, this is Clay Johnson, and we're dating. And he looks at her, and she's like, yep. So I said it. It's happening. It's real.
We're dating. It happens. Clay finally got a girlfriend. Yeah.
Finally.
My goodness.
And so Tyler has a nice exhibit at Monet's. This was so nice. Yeah, it was just seeing all. It was such a great way just to kind of, and I wanted it to end right there, but of course we had to get more stuff. But it was such a nice way to like bring everyone together.
That actually made me tear up.
Those photos, everything, like it was so nice. Yeah, Casey up there. You had everyone up there. Zach's like, why am I up there?
Right?
No, like, Zach, shut up. Just enjoy the moment. Like,
no, it was really funny.
Read the room.
He's like, he actually makes me look good looking, and he's like, do you not know
you're good looking? He's like, shut up. I was like, what? What is going on?
And it's so funny that this is something that they appreciate now.
Yeah.
Because when they first met Tyler and he was doing all this,
they thought it was
creepy.
So
creepy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this is the thing that has brought them like physically brought them together.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful.
It was really
nice
beautiful.
way to end
I
it.
really enjoyed it. A nice exhibit, just showcasing his work like that. And then we forgot about the guns and this like halfway through the episode, and they come up again.
Yeah.
Of course, they come up again.
In a fisherman's
In
net.
a fisherman.
All in the like, you couldn't even spread them out. Like, you actually had to keep them in the bag.
You got like
They put them
AK-47
in the
there. You
bag.
got right.
I'm just.
I was like.
It wasn't for real. Like the AK-7, like the other guns, like obviously some seaweed and some like starfish or something in there. I'm just sitting in my head. I'm just watching this like, you kept it in the bag.
Right.
Tony, what kind of criminal are you?
Does the bag like have his name on
That's
it?
what I'm saying.
It's got like a luggage tag on it.
Right.
Is there receipts in there that you got?
Wow.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
Tony's giving money to his family in Mexico illegally and stuff like that. But it's just like, yeah, you thought he would do something different with the guns. Would it still have the fingerprint? I don't know how that works. It still have the fingerprints on there,
That's
right?
the
It
big
won't wash
question.
away.
They would be registered to his dad.
Oh, they would be registered too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so true.
Well, technically, Tyler bought them off Craigslist, so
Did he?
No,
did
they
he?
were his dad's.
They were his dad's, no?
Wait,
Some of them were.
Some of them were Tyler's dads, but
Okay.
some other good portion he bought off Craigslist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
from a shady dude.
I just don't know, will it still have some type of prints or anything
sure
on
there'll
there?
be some sort of
There's something they're gonna,
connection,
they're gonna,
The bag, maybe they might be able
The
to
bag,
track where
right.
this bag is from.
So all I know is there's gonna be some heads rolling
Yeah.
in season 4. It's crazy. Winston's came back around at the end there, and he left with a vengeance. He looks like he's about to stir up some trouble.
Oh, he's not letting it
He's
end.
about to stir up
But
some
then,
trouble.
I understand why you're mad, and you had that amazing moment with Monty. But in my head, I'm glad you had that moment with Monty so that you can see who he could be.
Yeah.
But that wasn't who he was, and you telling what really happened is still not going to change anything. Like, I actually agree with the title. Let the dead bury the dead and be done with the situation.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, no, but
I don't
all right.
agree with it.
No.
You know?
I mean,
we've
been talking this whole time about what's right is right, but
his story
the wrong in this case is a little right.
is a little right.
It's a little
His
right.
story is gonna change everything, though.
will.
They're gonna open up the case
Yeah.
again. They're like, okay, look at
Yeah.
things from it's gonna change everything, and it's gonna be very interesting for Alex's dad because he's caught in the middle of it all, and he knows the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
hard.
gonna be hard.
Justice obviously deserves to be served.
Right.
But these kids also just need a break.
They do.
You know,
Yeah.
they need to move on with their
They
lives.
do. I mean, all
will
this happened.
never end.
Can you imagine a teenage years like this, like senior
2
year?
years, like,
Wow.
Junior and
sophomore and
senior.
junior, or junior and senior.
Yeah, can you imagine all that going on? That is just crazy. But any last thoughts about the episode from any of you ladies?
I agree with Kamisha and like Jessica was saying, like, we deserve happiness at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, even Dr. Singh, and she was telling Clay, like, what I do is show up. That's all we can do
All
in
you
life.
can do is show up.
And I actually agree with
90%
Justin
of it.
also too. Like, I think there's certain people that have to go through bad stuff. They have to go through that messy stuff, that messy time in their lives to get to the other side. But also the trick is to make it out alive. Mm-hmm. And that is a trick because you don't know if you're going to make it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, folks, we're going to go on to news and gossip.
AfterBuzz
Oh, me?
TV News.
Okay. Oh, me? Oh, yeah. So 17 have quite a theory for season 4. So this is why they think Tony Padilla might go to jail for season 4. So Tony is also part of the group of kids who volunteered to take care of Tyler, and he managed to get rid of Tyler's guns after he tried to start a school shooting during the big dance. And while it seemed like Tony would be a likely suspect to go after Bryce, it was revealed that Tony was actually laundering money through Mexican cartel in order to send it back home after selling the garage. He also, has his car back, but only after his boyfriend Caleb got it back from Bryce's house. I still want to know how he did it. Did
Right.
he pay for it? Or
Right.
what happened? That's the question, obviously, for season 4. But even with all those things happening to Tony throughout the season, there's one big reason why Tony might end up in jail in season 4. At the end of the season, the fisherman ends up finding the guns that Tony and Clay got rid of for Tyler at the end of season 2. If his fingerprints are still on the guns,
Right.
it seems like things won't be going so well for Tony, who already has several strikes against him under the eyes of the law. Hopefully, the group can find a way to get themselves out of this one, but we can already tell that the police don't like Tony, so this might be a tough situation that he might not be able to get out of.
Oh, the police hate Tony.
Oh,
especially that one guy.
Oh, that one dude. I want to punch him in the face.
That one guy is ridiculous.
Like, you have to speak Spanish too?
Right.
Like, I would just learn French just so I could talk about you. Okay.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah. I do wonder how Caleb got the car back. That is very interesting to find out. All right. Well, you all know this is the season finale, and in homage to the episode and what happened at Clay's dinner table, we're going to go around and just say one thing that we're grateful and thankful for. Kamisha, start with you.
Well, truthfully, I am thankful to be back on the panel. It's the season finale, obviously, but I'm so grateful to be here with you guys. And Chae, I've met you or been on. This is my first show with you.
I know, it's my first time with you.
Yes. So
nice.
That is what I'm grateful for.
Perfect.
I am super grateful for AfterBuzz for getting to talk to everyone and chat about this awesome show. But I'm really grateful to the writers for making a show like this that brings up issues that should be talked about. And I think they do it in a really way. They do it in a really awesome way. So I appreciate that.
I am also grateful for AfterBuzz. This has been amazing 2 years of my life. I'm grateful for my being alive. I've gone through some things that these characters have gone through, and the trick is to make it to the other side. And I promise you guys, it's worth it if you can make it. It is worth it. Yeah. So I'm grateful that I made it worth it.
Yes, you did. And I'm thankful for AfterBuzz, for you lovely ladies being on a panel and discussing this amazing show. But life, I'm thankful for being alive. I'm thankful for waking up this morning, because a lot of people expected to and didn't get that opportunity. So go out there and make every opportunity count. Live life to its fullest, and it does get better. Always gets better.
I love that.
I know, like, woo.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been amazing, this whole trip with 13 Reasons Why. Can't wait for season 4. Maybe your boy will be in there. Maybe Chae will be in there. Who knows? There's a lot of things going on. We gonna try.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Kamisha, go ahead and see us out.
Wow. Okay. AfterBuzzers, you can find me. I can't even speak. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Kamisha Latour.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this season. You can find me across social media at Monica Goes Show. And if you like travel, you can find me at monicagoes.com.
Hey.
Thank you guys so much for rocking with us in chat for these last 2 weeks. You guys are rock stars. I really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. You can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram. The season finale of Grand Hotel on Mondays at 8. And I am the new correspondent for Disney TV Weekly. And I am working on some amazing things to show you.
Nice. And you can find me everywhere at I Am Danny Royce. Thank you so much for joining us. Monday nights, the Terra After Show and Inside the Black Actor Studio coming back this October. Yay. Can't wait. You all have a good night.
Bye.
God bless.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.